Hey everybody, I've got some actual commentary today because I am quite proud of this run and wanted to show it off. It came from originally remembering the Grounded Zap video where he had 5 turns of AFK and then came back. And I kind of combined that with the realization that easy mode gives you extra lives. You can see over on easy mode we have 7 lives. And I decided to use that to get what I believe is the first 6-turn AFK arena win, or at least the first documented one. A 7-turn win is theoretically possible, but you won't catch me ever going for it. I don't know if anybody ever will go for it. If they do, I'll be thoroughly impressed at the dedication. But I'm not doing that. So I'm going to go through this run. We're going to look at the strategy I used to come back from 6 turns of AFK, because that's actually probably quite a lot more difficult than 5 turns. Just because you have to spend 10 gold to like find a way to beat turn 7 teams, which is a lot harder than beating turn 6 teams. Okay. To start off on turn 1 and 2, we are just cycling pigeons and cycling pillbugs. You could also cycle mouse if you wanted, but I found pigeon first and I wanted consistency over everything else. Like, 1 apple would be slightly better than the breadcrumbs, but I would rather go for the consistent line. We are aiming for a very specific setup going into turn 7, which I will talk about when it gets there. But for now, just know that we need 5 foods here. 2 pills is ideal. You don't want too many pills. We'll use them later on turn 5 and 6 to pill anteaters, but you typically don't hit that many of them. Even on a lucky run, you like almost never hit 3. Now that it's turn 3, we have tier 2s unlocked. We're rolling for Stalk, and basically only Stalk. Once we get the 2 Stalks, we can cycle out of possums. And part of me wishes I'd put Duckling in this pack so you could cycle those out too, but it's not that big of a difference. I don't think it mattered in this run because we got the Stalks quite late. This was done on my main account, and was done in what I think is the most difficult customs pool, with people like Rev, Sag, Aaron, Freets, and a bunch of other like established players are all in that pool. Or at least established in Arena. So now that we're on turn 5, we have the extra shop slot, which is why we can only have 5 here. We're looking for Anteater, so that we can pill it with the free pill. The reason we want the free pills over just any normal pill is so that if we're on 3 gold, we can buy and pill an Anteater. We don't have to like freeze it for a bunch of turns so that we don't have anything on board. But okay, we've found time to pill 2 Anteaters. We don't quite have the last stalk yet, but that's all we really need. We need two stalks and a flying fish, ideally. Getting a 3rd stalk would be great, and I think that's actually what happens here. Is we have this 3rd stalk just to triple it on turn 8. Obviously we can't buy it on turn 7 because we don't have the gold to. And okay, now I can finally talk about some interesting things, because we're into turn 7, I can actually buy units. So we buy Flying Fish Double Stalk, which is the best setup I've found to have a chance at winning this turn. You could probably also like have a setup with Love Potion Flying Fish in a single stalk, but I don't actually think that helped your chances that much. It's just like 1 level 3 summon over 2 level 2 summons. We get very lucky here, Beta Fish out of stalk and then Anteater out of the 2nd stalk to get the draw. And this draw is kind of what carries this run, as far as it ended up going. We have Love Potion for now, which is a very specific interaction with Flying Fish, where the Love Potion will summon a 3/3 Flying Fish, which will get 2 XP from the other Flying Fish, and then this summon will immediately go up to level 3. We take Fig because we can't really afford to like buy a unit for tempo, because we want the Stalks on board, and we want space for this Flying Fish to summon. So Fig is kind of the best tempo we can get. We win this fight, which is very helpful. And then turn 9 I level up. Out of these two I take Alpaca. I think looking back on it, Spino is probably better. But my thinking with taking Alpaca was that I don't have to run a 4 squad with Flying Fish, Love Potion. And I guess Alpaca's just a little bit more greedy. And I guess I felt like I had 2 lives, I at least had a little bit of room to greed. Unfortunately here we face a Shark team, and we don't get great Kappa summons, because the Chili can farm, but I don't think it would have mattered if this Shark just gets too big. So now we're on 1 life, and we still have 9 more wins to do. I take the Cyclops here because I will always want to get this capital level 3. Typically in like 1v1 play, you'll never see things go past level 2 all that often. But in a case like this, where I have to go very far in arena, it becomes very worth it to get the level 3s. Then I take Spino to keep me alive. We face Hipsterino, who has Pegasus, Hydra, and some other summons. The cap actually helps them as well, but we just barely eke out a draw. We find the level 2 Spino, so we can keep Cyclops on board and get an extra experience out of it. We're not interested in any of those, but I level up Cyclops. I'm basically just looking, at this point, for a specific unit. I think if I remember this, I actually ended up not taking it when I should have. But you'll see that later on. The Spino summons get the Kappa summons, like, over the breakpoints of the other ones. Because they get buffed, they're able to easily trade 2 for 1 with the opposing Kappa summons, which is very nice. We get level 3 Kappa. I decide to finally sell the Cyclops to take extra gold. And then buy this Eagle. Because the tier 6s of this pack are set up pretty nicely. Like, with the exception of, I believe, Oyster, and maybe, like, Stego, I guess. Everything else to summon out of an Eagle is pretty positive. We face a Elephant, Triceratops, like, regen team here, but the good news is that this Triceratops doesn't have much health, so the Elephant will just eventually kill it. Like so. And then our Kappa summons are able to slightly overpower theirs. And we win this pretty handily. So at this point I'm thinking like we're fairly far ahead. At least like further ahead than I would have expected. So we take level 3 Spino, and with this especially, I just decide I'm selling the turkey so I can get all this extra gold in. And then I will end up just taking this other Eagle. And I think, yeah, I'll reorder this because I want to put the mushroom on the Eagle. It's debatable whether you put it on Eagle first or Spino first, because you also want to stop Spino from dying, and that's like a pretty big lose condition. But I ultimately decided to put it on Eagle. It worked out here, we didn't face any snipes. and the tapir summon means we win this very easily. We don't even need the kappa summons. At this point, yeah, we're looking for mushroom for the other spino, and I ultimately would have frozen this anteater for a lot longer if I didn't find the level for eagle alongside it. Because I'm still trying to eke out value for another unit we'll see later by selling level 3s from anteater. Once again, the spino doing incredible work, just able to let our kappa summons value trade really heavily. Okay, we leveled the eagle, and we found the Jersey Devil finally. So now I'm keeping it frozen while I roll for a pill. Because I figured that once I buy this Jersey Devil, my board is basically capped out. And I'm not going to be changing any of this lineup once I buy Jersey Devil, so I wanted to wait until I found a pill, and luckily we found one pretty early. A lot of lucky things happen in this run, but you've got to bear in mind this is like a combination of 5-ish hours of attempts where this is the luckiest one. Kind of interesting interaction there that you might have missed. Chihuahua brought Eagle to the front, but because some of my units died, it still got the mushroom value. Like, I think the Link sniped Jersey Devil. So we start trying to level the Jersey Devil, but we're also looking for mushroom. But, I mean, I take level 2 Jersey Devil immediately, because it was offered to me immediately. This other Jersey Devil frozen in the shop I'm not buying until I get mushroom in the shop. Sorry, I'm really good at speaking. This stonefish saved us, by the way, because we couldn't really afford another Octo Snipe to go off here. And the Cobra hits like really good units for us. And then Kappa summons these flying fish, which I found pretty funny because they all just kind of buffed each other to level 3. Oh, yeah. They all like buffed each other to level 3. So we roll a few times and I find the mushroom. This is just to protect the Jersey Devil from snipes, because that's like the big way we lose. Was if Jersey Devil got sniped out by something. Dolphin kills the Stork and Jersey Devil, but Jersey Devil comes back. Gets sniped out again, but luckily this team is not great because it just has Sea Turtle for buffing summons, which we are able to overpower with attack pretty easily. And at this point I decide that it's like not worth going for Jersey Devil 3. And then I like immediately hit a chocolate and decide it's worth going for again. This was kind of a weird spot, because there was not much time left in the game. Like, I only needed to win 2 more fights. So it was weird, but like at the same time, I couldn't really improve my board elsewhere by that much. This Octo was very scary, but we got pretty good snipes. And the Kappa summons go, the Spino's still alive, which means we're able to win. And now we're on 9 wins. All of a sudden. I decide for the last turn to just look for a tempo thing, like buying this fig. Because it's kind of the only thing that can go on Kappa, right? You can't put like a mushroom or anything like that on it. And putting Durian on it is a bit redundant because it's the last summon. So I didn't hit level 3 Jersey Devil, I just ultimately decided I'll throw the fig on Kappa and call it a day. We're on to Mantis, Fly, Shark team. We get Blobfish out of Stork, and then Eagle summons Orca into Slime. This fight actually ended up being very close. I think there were a lot of worlds where we lose this fight as well. But luckily this was not one of them. We kill the skunk, we knock off the lemon of the shark, and just barely by the mushroom left on the Jersey Devil, we're able to win the fight. So there you have it. 6 turns AFK, coming back into a win on turn 19. Like I mentioned before, it's definitely possible to do a 7-turn AFK win, but it's just a matter of having to grind for a long time to get the RNG you need. In fact, it might not even be possible. Because the chances of beating a turn 7 team with just Flying Fish Double Stalk is already very low. Beating a turn 8 team, the chances are even lower. But I mean, if anybody goes for it, I'll be thoroughly impressed. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it at 6 turns, and if it goes further, then that's somebody else's doing. Thank you for watching. I might start uploading to this channel more if I start experimenting more in Arena. But I'm not sure. I have a lot of stuff to do right now that is not related to SAP. But if I find the time, I'd like to upload to this channel a bit more. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.